a motion to staff to explore. I'd like to move that staff be directed to explore and come back to council with a recommendation to amend the procurement policy of the town to provide a local variance of 10% on all tenders. And if it's seconded, I'll explain what I mean by that. What they're doing is to try to get more local buy-in. And the example was used by the deputy mayor of Shelburne today with me. They had tenders for some products for the town of Shelburne. The local guy who would service these products literally down the road was beaten out by another person several hundred miles away. Under the old procurement policy, they had to give the tender to the lowest bid, but now they've amended their procurement policy so there's a 10% variance, and as there was a 10% variance in the two, so they, for council, gave the tender to the local individual. And we've sometimes seen some very close amounts, so I was just asking staff to explore it to see if we can do it or not, and that's what they're doing in Shelburne and in Lockport. So maybe Greg, you might want to comment. It just came up today.
Well, I think Dave would probably comment that the town's not required to give it to the lowest tenderer if there's other advantages that might make it the otherwise not the lowest tenderer, the most qualified or the best package. So there's no automatic requirement that you just take the lowest tender. They have to consider everything as well. The concern that you're going to run into, and staff can certainly look at it, but when you have these local variances and whatnot, there are procurement acts that the provinces or laws the province has passed that kind of prevent that kind of thing or discourage it to some extent. So it's not quite as easy as you know, as simply having a variance in there. But if it's just a matter of discretion, for example, because somebody maybe is closer and able to service that, that's something that's already kind of built into the discretion there.
Okay. Good? Good. That's A and B. Were there any more there? No, that was C for the data. Okay. Approval of invoices? So moved. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Contrary? Good. Date of next two meetings? Man. CAO, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'll speak to the April meeting, and it has to do with the planning public hearing, that we really don't have the time to properly advertise according to the law to advertise for the public hearing if we were to proceed on the 10th of April. So what that would mean is that those public hearings for those planning items couldn't proceed until May. And if we're going to talk about the third week in May, then it's really delaying those. So if we can just push the April meeting back by 1 week to the 17th of April, then that would give us ample time to do the proper advertising of the public hearings, and we could proceed with those matters at that time. And that would be the budget meeting as well, yes.
April 17th, budget meeting, and okay. So,
and we could probably use the time for that as well.
okay, so let's, can we have, do we need a motion on that?
I would make a motion that we have the April meeting on the 17th.
Well, moved and seconded. Discussion? Questions been called. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Carried. Go ahead, CAO.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to, we have the spring workshops for UNSM happening on the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and the 8th, of course, would be our regular council date. I really encourage councillors to attend the spring workshop and the UNSM meeting in the fall. I think the more that goes, the merrier. I know you get into this question of travel, but the networking there, and especially, and I cannot say enough, and Councillor Mooney, I know will back me up on this one, if it wasn't for all those municipal politicians, we wouldn't have a boat coming up the harbor, because they were the ones that did it, because they lobbied every bloody member, and in fact they knocked out the last government because of it. So that shows you the power of municipal politicians, and was a lot of hard efforts on many counts to get that going. So I really think we need a good show of force there at the spring workshop in Pictou. So given that, Your Worship, I'm concerned about the 8th. Could we maybe move that to the 15th?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on the 15th. We've got a ship landing here. Is it? Yeah, it comes in the morning. So is everything done? Is that a big?
Oh, yeah, no, that'd be good. Still meet in the
I
evening.
just want to make sure there's not a great big wingding, and if there is, we can change it at the next. No, we can't. Yeah, okay, we'll have to do the 15th. I
The
just
ship's
wanted
not gonna
to,
be here on the 15th. It's leaving Portland on the 15th, isn't it?
yeah, for its maiden voyage to here. So, okay.
So isn't
15th. I
it
just
overnight?
wanted-
Doesn't it get here on the 16th?
Okay, oh,
Yeah, that's right.
you know what? You earned your pay a little bit late this evening, but okay, you're good to go. All right, so the 15th,
We have the May meeting of council on May the 15th, your worship.
so moved. Have a seconder?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Question's been called. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary? Motion carried. Oh, my goodness. Okay, motion to go in camera. I forgot about that part. Yeah.
Yeah, just before we go into the camera, because we may not have to.
Okay. CAO?
Thank you, Your Worship. We've discussed the information package item earlier today at the Committee of the Whole in camera. The letters of interest, RFP, I've not had ample time to review those, to have information for you tonight, so we'll deal with those next week if that's okay. The tax agreements, we dealt with that presentation this morning, so I don't have anything else unless there was anything council wanted to discuss in camera.
No, but is there something,
What were you going to say, Councillor Dawes?
there's something that I wanted to share with everyone here at the table. Pardon me. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna get it. Me and Jim are gonna get it 100%.
Well, that you get it for barking at me this morning for no reason. Now, while I was not here last month, I was with you all in spirit, with all council and all committee of the whole meetings except for the one on March 4th. The reason that I had to ask the questions that I did on some of the motions is because I did not hear when you are on this side of the camera, on this side of the stream screen, you do not understand. People can't hear all of you all the time. So some of the information is gone.
Thank God, yeah.
Thank God. So not everything is audible. Even though I turn this off, you can hear me, but they cannot.
Oh, yeah, very aware of that, yes.
Also, and we forget that because we do hear one another, we understand.
Like right now, they can't hear you.
That's right, you can't hear it. Now, something that kept getting drilled into me until it finally sunk in is only this way can you be heard, not this way. And so the information is just gone. And that's why I had to hold you all up. I'm very sorry with my questions on your motions. But that's why, because not all the information gets out.
So moved.